Fox 5 health news, and some parents are turning to natural remedies to help keep their kids healthy during the cold and flu season, but some experts, well, are somewhat skeptical about some of these remedies.
Joining us now, Dr. Devi from the NYU School of Medicine. And there is this push. We want to sort of go more natural, holistic, organic, but I guess the big question is, does it actually work?
Yeah, so it depends what you're looking at. I mean, this is in the category of alternative medicine or complementary medicine, right? And so aromatherapy specifically, it's the idea that you're taking herbs, plants, flowers, using extracts from them, diluting it in oil, and then either breathing it in or rubbing it on your body, kind of like when you get a massage and you notice those scents. So it doesn't seem to be harmful in general, but whether it protects you from colds and flus is a little more controversial. I mean, there are some studies that show that these oils can kill bacteria or kill viruses, but on a surface, not necessarily the bacteria that really infect you and make you sick. So that's the danger there. And then because they're not approved by the FDA, they're not regulated by the FDA.
Right. There does seem to be a little bit of wishful thinking in it. Like, it would be great if it works. We probably need more research to know if it actually does.
Of course, and with the research, the difficulty is because they're not regulated, we can't mandate a lot of the research. So from one supply to another, there could be very different amounts of the active ingredient.
Yes, but I think on the other hand, when it comes to natural remedies and not fighting colds per se, but lavender can be very calming.
Of course, yeah.
Eucalyptus can really kind of clear your sinuses, and that sort of means it could be somewhat helpful.
I do think these things sometimes help people with stress so that they do feel better, and maybe that strengthens their immune system. But just on the respiratory topic, some people do actually have allergies to the peppermint or eucalyptus. So it's something just to keep in mind that you might have worsening, let's say, if you're breathing in a few cases.
Right. Let's talk about this. Some fruits and vegetables may actually be sabotaging your weight loss plan. We have a very broad definition of fruits and vegetables, and that's sort of the problem, right?
So this is exactly, I mean, we group potatoes in there, which, actually potatoes aren't so bad, but the idea that we, the way that we eat them as French fries, mashed potatoes mixed with butter, sour cream in your baked potato, that's what makes them really unhealthy. So for people who are using that as their main source of fruits and vegetables, the problem is they actually gain weight rather than lose weight, and that can lead to other problems.
I found it to be so interesting that in one study it says that potatoes and tomatoes account for more than half of the U.S. vegetable consumption.
Sure, and tomatoes are the same thing. Like, tomatoes can be healthy, but when we have it as ketchup, you're adding all the sugar into it and everything else. So it's the processing of the food that makes it worse. I mean, the ones that tend to be better are blueberries. Those tend to improve weight loss. I mean, if we're just thinking about weight loss, it seems like blueberries, strawberries, apples, pears, grapes, these might be your best bet, whereas potatoes and tomatoes may be a little bit less healthy.
The less processed, the better, basically, right?
Exactly. And of course, these studies are it's a little bit difficult to test them because a lot of the studies are self-reported, which means that the person's telling you what they're eating, right? So the people who eat the healthier fruits and vegetables may also have other habits that make them healthier, right? It's not the same.
Exercise.
It's not the same as just taking anybody who doesn't have fruits and vegetables and suddenly giving them a specific fruit and looking to see what happens.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's hard to eat right. You got to do it, and it can be discouraging the more you learn things you thought were healthy weren't, and the whole thing. And
of course, especially when you're trying so hard.
Right. That's the thing for sure. All right, Dr. Devi, we appreciate it.
And of course, now it's fall, nesting, beginning the nesting
it's
season.
Easy to hide under the sweater,
and everybody starts wanting those comfort foods. Thank goodness it's not getting cold.
Well, we can go for picking some apples, right? Apple picking season is now, so that's kind of a healthy trend, right? To do something along those lines. Just trying to follow up on
maybe that's not that much cardio in picking an apple.
As long as you don't turn them into pies, right?
Well, exactly.